Hey guys, welcome to another book review. Today we are going to be talking about Dune. So first of all, if you guys don't know, we have a little community of kind of writers, readers, everything in between called the Storytellers Guild. You can find it at thestorytellersguild.com/locals. There's full spoiler reviews and other things like that, but this is going to be a spoiler-free review, kind of a little free gem for the people on YouTube, and kind of a teaser if you want to check out the rest of the guild. So, Dune. Starting out watching this book, reading this book, I had already seen the movie. So this was a very kind of hyped thing for me. I'd heard a ton about this book. Legendary Frank Herbert changed sci-fi. This thing inspired Star Wars, everything in between. And I can surely say it did not disappoint. Now, it was very different than I thought it was going to be, but not in a bad way. First of all, I want to say the characters, especially Paul, is just such a great character. It's so easy to connect to him. Even side characters, though, like Chani and different people that you meet along the way. I think this book did such a good job. Herbert did such a good job at characterization and even little mini conversations within the book, bits of dialogue, just side things. All of it feels real. All of it feels grounded. All of it feels like this lived-in world, and that's what I loved. The world, man. The world was absolutely insane. The different planets, the political systems, they were all incredible. I'll be honest, this is the first time I think I've ever done like a spoiler review or spoiler-free review either for a movie or a book. So I'm trying to really think about what does or doesn't spoil like major plot points in this book. So I'm just trying to cover like the general summary that I feel like everybody or general things that everybody knows about it. I really like the genre kind of line that I think it walks. Obviously, it's qualified as a sci-fi book, but I think it falls into sci-fi fantasy, in my opinion, and I really like that. I think there are some cool limitations on technology and different things like that. Places that Frank Herbert goes out of his way to explain why you can't use this thing or you can't do this thing here, and it makes the world feel very grounded. I think it's really easy in a sci-fi universe to get lost and be like, well, anything is possible because you have this thing of technology. Why didn't you use the thing of technology here or here or here or here? And Frank Herbert does a really good job of having this kind of hard sci-fi world and explaining different reasons very much in the same way that the real world is. It's like, oh, this thing can overheat. You do this thing here and it causes an explosion. There's these reactions. That was very cool. The Bene Gesserit. I don't want to say much, but they're dope. I love them. Great idea. Honestly, and anybody who's actually read the book or interested in the book, the world building is insane. It's probably one of my favorite worlds that I've ever read, and I haven't read everything yet, so there's a lot more for me to read, but so far, it's one of my favorite worlds I've ever read. It's just a great story I think that anybody can relate to at its core, which is also awesome. Just the political intrigue is out of this world, and I think that does such a great job, that and the characters, of kind of grounding the story, even though it has such epic like universal, in the true sense of the word, universal scale. I will say that I think the general kind of structure of the plot is different than I thought it was. The pacing is different than I thought it would be. I don't think it's bad. I understand it, and I think that as you read it along, there are definitely dramatic reasons for it. But it especially as the story goes on, it becomes less and less conventional of a way to tell a story, less conventional pacing. I really liked that stylistic touch. Some people may not. But whatever boat you stand in, if you haven't read this book, if you haven't been told by anybody who's ever read sci-fi and fantasy to read this book, I'm going to add me to the list. I'm going to tell you, read Dune. I'm going to give it an 8 out of 10. It was such a great novel. I'm reading the second book. Feel free to tell me in the comments down below what you guys think as far as like if I should read more or less. I know there's a lot of controversy as to how to read the Dune series. The way I've said it is that I'm not going to be reading any of Brian Herbert's Dune books. I just want to read the story that Frank wanted to tell and kind of the main storyline. So if you guys want to enlighten me in the comments how to do that, please do so. If you want to check out a spoiler version of this review, please go check out the Storytellers Guild in the link in the description. You'll get access to that, other book reviews, writing videos, my own short stories, and tons of other stuff. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Let me know what other books you guys want me to read and maybe review either here on the channel or in the guild, and I will see you all in the next video.